Hello, hello, hello. Sorry I'm late. There were some shenanigans afoot. Not of my own doing. Maybe partial of my own doing? Aw, yay! Hi, best friend! I saw you. I was like, I know exactly who that is. I'm so excited to see you. Or I guess hear from you. I can't physically see you. I was supposed to be seeing you this weekend, but the world is still shit. So hopefully someday soon. Okay, let's get in to the shenanigans at hand. So first, it started out as a positive. So Shadow, who is right here. Hey, bubs. Yep. So Shadow has a habit of, not like aggressively, but he's been pulling more on walks. And not all the time, but like mostly when he sees other people or other like dogs that he wants to, you know, interact with. It's not in like a malicious or an aggressive way. It's in like a purely friendly way. Like, I want to go play with these people, say hello to these people, whatever. But he's 25 kilos and my upper body doesn't always have the capacity with which to restrain him. And I just have this vision of when we eventually decide to have kids that I'm going to have to be pulling or pushing a stroller and wrangling this dog at the same time. And I can't have him like jumping up on people because that's a two-handed thing and one hand will be on a stroller at all times. So, because even, like, again, I said it's not malicious, but anybody who, you know what I mean, like, any person, even people who love dogs, like, when you just have a random, long, giant dog just, like, jump up at you, even if it's for good intentions, like, hello, I want to be your best friend, like, that can be intimidating and overwhelming, and people don't want that on their walks, unless they're actively going to seek it out. So we got him, well, Liam ordered him, a Martindale collar. So it's basically like a collar that has the ability to sort of cinch the dog's neck in a non-painful way, just in like a little bit of a reminding way to not pull. And so we got this delivered today. So I was like, perfect, just before we go for a walk, like, let's test this out. And we were really not sure. You had to measure his neck size, and he was right in between, like, the small and the medium. But the whole goal is so that it doesn't slip off of his head unintentionally. So we're like, well, we'll go for the small. Like, this is sort of how much it's measuring at. So it was amazing. It was really good. The walk was great. There's these two little, like, floof balls. I think they're, like Shih Tzu crosses that just, I think they're older. They just sit in their bay window of their house all day. And then we always walk by, and just us walking by sets them off. So that happened. And usually Shadow would then like get the zoomies and then like jump around and go all like crazy and stuff. I'm getting a little bit. I'm going to turn the volume down just a smidge so I'm not yelling at everyone. But yeah. So usually what would happen is he goes to go at them or like, you know, to bark at them and does his zoomy back and forth thing. And he did it like once and then stopped. And it was like, that's amazing. I'm not like trying to wrangle him, he has a harness. So, and it has like a loop on it that I can grab hold of, but so much better, so much easier. So that was great. And then we got home and now I can't get the collar off of him. So it went on fine, and it slipped over his head because he's like mostly greyhound, so he has quite a sleek head, and it went over his ears and stuff fine. But now his ears are in the way on the way back over it. So now I have this like anxious pit in my stomach, like, fuck, like, what if we have to cut it off of him? And then we just like wasted however, because it wasn't like the cheapest thing in the world. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, we'll see what happens. Like, Liam's going to help me. We're going to tag team it and hopefully get it off of him. Because I tried a little bit. I was, like, trying to, like, tuck his ears in, do whatever. But he was getting to the point where he started, like, just, like, low level kind of growling at me. So I was like, okay, you're uncomfortable. I'm not going to put you through this. We're just going to leave it. So he's fine now, but, like, yeah. And it looks really good on him. And it was really awesome during our walk, but fuck, now it's potentially stuck, which isn't good. Maybe, I don't know, we've had like, I don't know, other deliveries and things. That was something else at the door. And then we got back from the walk and we were already running a little bit behind because I started the walk a bit earlier. So I was like, okay, you know, I'm gonna have to do like a mad dash to set up stream because we still have builders outside, and usually as I'm going to offer them tea and stuff. Yeah, exactly. So, usually when I go and offer the builders tea before I start, when I'm getting stream, whatever. But then Leah messages me because we're meant to be getting, like, flooring for the garage delivered. It was meant to come yesterday, but it came today. And it's on this, like, big flat pack truck, and it has, like, a little crane or whatever to take the stuff off. And we're like, that's fine. Like, the builders have been able to get up the alleyway behind our house, no problem. They just go straight through. It's, like, a bit of a drive, but it's totally doable. And then we get home, and I get, a message from Liam, and he's in a meeting with work, so he can't, like, get out and help anything. And he's like, oh, the delivery drivers can't get up the alleyway. Can you ask the builders to help him? And I was like, okay, cool. Like, this is more interaction than usual for me with them. It's usually I come up, give them a cup of tea, have a little like, oh, hey, how's it going? Cool, I'm gonna let you do your business. Like, I don't need to get involved. I don't like to get involved. But yeah, so apparently down the alleyway, there is also someone else doing construction. They're doing construction in their back garden, their back walkway, whatever. I don't know what they're doing, but they've dug up like whatever the section within their property line, and they've dumped the debris and it's overflowed into the alleyway. So now large vehicles can't get down there. So I don't know how the rubbish people are going to come down there. They're going to have a time and a half trying to make that happen. So yeah, so like this, yeah. So these assholes down the road have, blocked the alleyway essentially from like any more deliveries. So, sorry, I just noticed I keep yelling into the red. So I'm trying not to do that and like break everyone's eardrums. But yeah, so luckily though, we still had the builders there, and I was like, hey, like, Liam's just telling me what's going on with this delivery guy, and they're like, yeah, it's no problem, like, we can help out. I'm like, perfect, I have noodle arms, I'm not lifting, you know, I think he said it's over 200 kilos of, like, flooring on this flat pack truck. This isn't gonna do shit. I'm not moving those. Like, what do you want from me? So, luckily, bless the builders, they're amazing. We're gonna have to, you know, buy them some beers or something. That seems to be the socially acceptable thing to do when, like, someone does you a solid, is, like, buy them a case of beer. So we'll have to do that. And so the builders, it's, like, a father-son duo, and they have, like, friends and stuff that help out. So the main guy that we're working with, he called his dad up and is like, can you bring the truck down? And then we can offload these pallets that this guy can't get up the alleyway, and then we can get up the alleyway. So, and they were like, okay, if this doesn't work, like, you'll have to rearrange a different delivery date. And I'm like, for fuck's sake, like, you know, come on. Fingers crossed. Fingers and toes crossed, this will work. And it did. And it actually worked really, really well, because the builder said the base of his truck was the exact same level as this delivery truck, so they could just slide over the pallets. So that made an easy job to, like, move them so they weren't individually stacking stuff. And so, yeah, so that's gone. Luckily, the builders have, you know, graciously said, yeah, we'll unpack them, we'll, like, stoosh them in a corner, we'll cover it up, all that kind of stuff. But it got a little bit, like, for a second there, because I was like, what if they can't do it? This can happen, blah, blah, blah. And, of course, the message from Liam was on a walk, and so I always get a little bit, like, anxious and panicky when like I've missed a message, because there's like a sense of urgency that I'm like, I've missed the urgent message, like shit. But it was fine. Everything is fine now. Things are good. Shadow still has his collar on, so that's not good. But hopefully we'll work that out. So that is why I'm late today. I actually almost finished my tea, because I made my tea before all of this chaos, you know, as this chaos was playing out, because I was like, I need this now. So we're almost out of tea, and stream has just started, which isn't ideal, but I have water too. So we'll just do that. What I am drinking today, which I have almost finished, is my makeshift London Fog Latte decaf. So it's my decaf Earl Grey tea with vanilla coffee mate mixed together. It's my poor man's latte, and that's excellent. So we have our tea. I've finished ranting. We have our emergency granola bar if we need it at some point during the stream. And we have today's activities. So similar to last, I guess it was a Friday. It was meant to be a Thursday, but last week's needle felting extravaganza, we made this little buddy. We made this little mushroom toadstool buddy. And so the goal is to put a pin back on him. I haven't done that yet. I have the supplies, but I realized that I don't have any red thread, because I want to, here, I'll show you. I'll show you what I'm trying to do. Okay. So this is going to go on here, and we're going to sew it onto it, but then I also want to put a little bit of red felt behind it just to secure it and make it look a little bit prettier. But I want to then thread this to it, and it would be nice if it was red. I have like white, but I don't know, like, I don't know. I feel like I don't want the contrast. I want it to all mesh together. So that's why it's not finished. But I figured, well, I didn't figure. I did a poll that only my mother, or not my mother, my sister-in-law Becky responded to. Thank you, Becky. You're the best. Of what we should needle felt this week. And she said that she would like to continue on our mushroom train. So we're going to continue on the Forestcore little mushroom gang today. I like that, gnome core. I think that's a good idea. Because I don't feel like mushrooms are cottage core. And I feel like they are more forest core, but I feel like then getting even more specific, I think gnome core. I've heard of goblin core, but I think that's not, I don't know, maybe mushrooms and goblin core. Did you answer the poll? Did you just answer it? I didn't see your answer. I'm sorry. Did you vote for forest as well? Let me check. Let me check. Doesn't actually say. Hang on. What did you say then? I can't find out how. You know, it doesn't say that anybody actually... There we go. I didn't actually go into it. Yeah, I don't see your answer. Okay. Perfect. I'm glad. I was thinking, like, this is obviously your choice. Like, I would assume this is... Maybe you thought about what your answer would be and then you didn't physically click to make your decision. But that's okay. What matters is that you're here and we're doing what you wanted, so it all worked out. So I think I'm going to try to do a slightly different mushroom shape. I kind of want to do a bit more like a bucket hat approach, where it's a little bit more like a bump with like a bit of a lip. That's my goal. I'm going to do the same thing I did last time where I mix a little bit of this like burgundy. And yeah, just a little bit of the burgundy just to make it a little bit more two-dimensional or three-dimensional. Not as monochromatic, I guess, is the term. And we'll see. Last time we did this, we worked out that this is a really annoying noise. So we also have this, but it sticks to the felt or the wool and kind of gives it a weird texture. So we'll see if we switch it up. But yeah, so we'll see how it goes. So right now I'm just mixing the like burgundy in with this other red. I think too what I want to do is, in addition to creating more of like a bucket hat shaped mushroom, I kind of want to make an even like stubbier mushroom stem. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, so this is like kind of the shape-ish. So now we'll get stabbing. I'll put this, no, I'll just pop this here. Oops. I didn't click any of that. My bad. Awesome. Okay. Just let me know if the stabbing noise is too aggressive or obnoxious. But I'm still fascinated by like how you can take just like wool and stab the shit out of it with this, and then it just makes something. That's something I don't understand. So, less in the Forestcore vein and more in the witchy vein, I got something, well, I got some exciting news for myself. So I think it was last year, my brother ordered me tea from this company called The Witch's Tea. They're like a Liverpool-based tea company that also like infuse their teas with magic. And they were actually looking for tea testers. So they want more people to review their teas and give them ratings and like test them out and stuff. So they like sent an email out to everybody who had purchased their teas, and my brother forwarded me the email. And I'd been too lazy up until this point to actually like message them. But I did. And so now I'm officially one of their tea testers. So how it works is that I will select the teas from their website that I want to review, get a discounted price for that, and then once I send them my reviews and all that kind of stuff, yeah, that's the plan. So I'm really excited about it because I feel like, I think I mentioned before how my goal is to eventually like get back into more witchcraft stuff because I've been like super slack-a-lacking in it. I missed the first Sabbath. Like everyone was like, oh, like here's what's going on and stuff, and I was like, fuck, I missed it. So I didn't do anything. So I need to try harder. So I'm hoping that by getting involved with this witchy tea company, that will kind of act as an avenue to reinvigorate that side of myself that I've been neglecting. So yeah, so this is definitely already kind of taking the shape that I want it to, which is very exciting. It doesn't take much. It's still very like loose though, but I'm hoping that if I get the kind of initial shape when it's still like super flat and floofy, when I go to kind of make it a bit smaller, it'll still maintain that shape. But yeah. So this is good because, like, honestly, if people just want me to just create mushrooms, like, if we just do, like, needle felting little toadstools for many, many Thursdays, like, that's fine. I'm okay with that. I do really want to make a sandworm pin. I think that would be a really cool needle felting project. One of the things I got for Christmas that I started watching recently was the Beetlejuice animated series. So after the success of the movie in the 80s, in the 90s, they released a cartoon that was, I think it was kind of more targeted for children. And it's also Emmy nominated. So it actually won a daytime Emmy for best, like, animated program. Apparently it tied with The Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. That's my IMDb knowledge for you. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing, and it's been really interesting. I do find, though, that I prefer the color scheme of the Beetlejuice, film sandworms. These ones are a bit more kind of, like, purpley and green, whereas I like the kind of black and white contrast of the other ones. But yeah, I'd really like to do that. Yo! How's it going, bud? How's it going, dude? It's all good. I was hella late, too. I was also... You missed my my rant about, yeah, why I was late. But that's okay. You're here now. That's what matters. And as per your request, it was as per everyone's request. We're making more mushrooms. We're making more toadstools. But I'm going for a slightly different shape this time. A little bit more triangular, kind of bucket hat-like in this vein. So this is really good. And because we started later, we will be going later as well. So it's not like I'm gonna stop. I won't stop stream at 5. We will go to like 5:30 because I do want to. Last time we were able to finish this guy over a whole stream, so I'm hoping that we can do that again. I haven't needed to put the leather finger condoms on yet because we're still doing our basic shape formation, but I think once we get into the nitty-gritty, we'll have to put some extra protection on. I want to make this even. So, in addition to I'll drop some more Beetlejuice the animated series facts on you. I don't know if this is, I think actually a lot of the film, because it was still produced by, or executive produced by Tim Burton, and Danny Elfman did the theme, so it was still very like in that universe of involvement, but I think there was actually a little bit of Canadian involvement as well. Because the voice actor for Beetlejuice, I was looking him up, and he actually is the artistic director of the Stratford Festival of the Arts, which is a really big theater festival in Stratford, Ontario. And then, I don't actually know, let me actually quickly Google it, but the voice of Lydia in the animated series is actually, she's like an amazing, I guess, voice actress now. Like, she's done so many different things. But she actually was Lunette from Lunette and Molly's Big Comfy Couch. And I don't know if the Big Comfy Couch was just a Canadian thing or if it was, yeah, it was a Canadian television series. But yeah, so this woman, Alison Court, her name was Lunette, and she had a little, like, I guess it was kind of a puppet, but it was like her little dolly named Molly. And Dolly Molly. But yeah, so that was like a really cool kind of Canadian and then current things I'm into crossover. One of my childhood friends was absolutely obsessed with Lunette and Molly. It was really good because there was this it's a children's show, and they always encouraged, there was like an exercise thing, and I always forget what the jingle was, but it was basically like you did like your clock stretches. So she would lay on, and it would be a top-down thing of her as a giant clock, and then she would move her arms and legs to be like the arms of the clock, and that was sort of like this little mini workout that you could all do together on Luna and Molly. And she had, I don't know if it was her aunt or her grandma. They were clowns, by the way. Like, that was kind of the whole shtick. Luna the clown, Molly, and then there was Major Bedhead. He was a friend of them. And yeah, the big comfy couch was this place that she hung out in, and then she would like pull things out like a Mary Poppins hat out of the couch to play with or to interact with and things. And there was also dust bunnies that lived under the couch, and they were these little anthropomorphic like bunny looking dust things, and you could actually have a toy of them as well. But yeah, so my friend had a Molly doll. I think she even had a Lunette doll. And when we were growing up, like, she used to take that with her everywhere. But yeah, so that was really exciting. Now I want to round this guy out a little bit too. So I don't know if you can see right now, it's like super thin. There's like holes and stuff in it. Whereas you can see here, like, this guy's a lot more dense. So we kind of got to get to the density of this one with this, but I want to still maintain the shape. So I'm hoping that by kind of stabbing along the edges, we can sort of condense it a little bit more to make that happen. Oh, I'm feeling much better now, guys. I knew that like streaming and crafting would make me feel a lot better, like after the anxiety-inducing shenanigans of right before stream. So I was really excited to just get here, because it was gonna be like, I'm in my happy safe space with my tea and my crafts and my friends, and life is good. So yeah. The other show that I've been watching, and I actually had to stop myself last night from accidentally binging it and going to bed way too late because I have very little impulse control, is the TV show version of High Fidelity. So I don't know if you guys are aware of the 90s, I think it's 90s, movie High Fidelity with John Cusack, where he plays a guy who owns a record store, and he goes through his, like, I think it's top 5 major heartbreaks to try to figure out why he's, like, I don't know if it's like undateable or like just trying to figure out kind of what went wrong in those relationships to try to figure out how he can sort of get through those and move on from that. So they actually made a TV show version starring Zoe Kravitz in like the role. The character's name was Rob. So this is actually really cool. Her name is Robin, but everyone calls her Rob. And I just think that's like such a cool nickname. I don't know. Like, at first I was kind of like, oh, that's interesting. But I was like, oh, the short form of Robin could be Rob. And I'd never thought about that before. But it's like her sense of style and everything is still very like 90s to the show. But yeah, really cool. I don't know. Like, it was recommended to me, the film, not the series, when I actually went in to buy the soundtrack for a different 90s movie, Empire Records, which is my absolute, like, top favorite movie of all time. And at the CD store, you want to call it a record store, but it was a CD store, or music store, because I think they had all of the things. The guy was like, oh, if you really like this movie, you'll really like High Fidelity, because it also has like a really good soundtrack. It's a very music driven show. And I watched it, and I remember not liking it as much as as Empire Records, but I still remember really enjoying it. It's actually, the movie is on Disney Plus as well as the show. So I'm hoping to actually rewatch the movie soon. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now. But I remember, like, when I don't even know how I found Empire Records, but when I did, I just thought the coolest thing in the world would be to work at a music store. And not, like, I guess HMV was, like, the closest equivalent of, like, a more mainstream sort of corporate thing, but, like, a local, like, cool, I don't know, like, people who are, like, super, super into music, I just thought were, like, the coolest people ever. Just, like, a little bit unattainable, a little bit too cool for me. But, yeah. Because we also, like, I went to a performing arts high school. My friend can attest to this. And it's, like, there were these super, like, I don't know, like, they just kind of, like, in a league of their own. To be fair, I think a lot of them were jerks. But just, like, super kind of hipstery, grungy, like, music buffs. And they, like, I don't know, like, they just seemed so cool. And I just was like, oh no, not me. I'm just over here with my, like, Spice Girls and my Ashley Simpson and, you know, my Veronicas and stuff. And they're over here, like, talking about real music. All music is valid. Don't let anybody yuck your yum. But yeah, like, I was used to be so, like, I think less so now. I think more like crafting is my identity, but I feel like music was such a huge, huge part of my identity growing up. And, like, knowing a lot about music and being, like, super into, I don't know, music that no one's ever heard of or something like that. Like, I used to go through the top MySpace music pages of every country. And then that's actually how I found the Veronicas, because they were in, like, the top 5 or something of the Australian MySpace music pages. So that's how I found quite a few artists, actually, is just, like, going through, okay, who are the top 4 in this? I don't know who that is. Are they not valid? I guess, to be fair, there is lots of music that's not valid, but it's more like the musicians behind the music that are not valid. And they invalidate the music. Because there's, like, certain, I always feel really uncomfortable. Like, there's certain musicians that I'm, like, get them off of all of my music platforms and things. Perfect, I'm glad. Is it one of those things that, like, I'm not gonna have, oh, see, now, though, you've piqued my interest. Why I have to go and search them up now. Unless that was the name of your band when you were in high school. Because I don't think you've ever told me what the name of the band was. But by the sounds of it, I don't think it was. But, yeah, so, But yeah, so I don't know, I always thought it would be so, so cool to work in a record store and, like, recommend music to people. And I don't know, I think just that there's something, like, so quintessentially, like, 90s, early 2000s vibes that I am super nostalgic for. And it's so funny because even though, like I said, I grew up in the, like, Britney, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, Christina sort of world, Spice Girls, all of that, my, like, adult aesthetic longing is more for, like, the grungier side of it. Because I feel like I love, you know, like, I love super poppy music and stuff like that, but I don't like poppy clothing, if that makes sense. I like catchy songs, but not, like, catchy fashion. So, yeah, so this character of Rob in this High Fidelity remake, like, I don't personally feel like I could pull off any of the looks that she does. Also, too, it's a lot of, like, I don't know, like, wearing, like, denim and wearing pants with buttons and zippers. And it's like, guys, it's 2022. Like, we don't do that anymore. I'm like, I need leggings. at all times. I need full range of motion at all times. I still own a couple pairs of jeans, but like very rarely wear them. So if I could achieve, you know, like 90s grunge aesthetic from like the waist up, because the waist down, it's always just going to be leggings. Like, I'm sorry, but that's just what's going to happen. So yeah, like, I don't know, like, just her sense of style, like, she just looks super cool. Yeah, always ready for action, but, like, I'm not running for anything. So it's a little bit counterintuitive. I'm like, I want my full range of motion, but not to run, because F that. We're not doing that. But yeah, always. I think it's, like, things, you know, that are just comfortable for all occasions. Because the worst thing sometimes is when you're sitting for a long period of time and you get like the button of your jeans or something, or like whatever trousers you're wearing that like dig into you, and like that's not fun. So we're not about that life. But 100%, like, I think the other style kind of epitome that comes to mind is Angela Chase from My So-Called Life. That was Claire Danes, because I was obsessed with Degrassi when I was growing up. Which is sort of like the Canadian version of Skins, I guess. It's what Drake started out on. And that's actually a resurgence, because there was Degrassi Junior High, and then this was the next generation. So that was for my generation, but there were previous iterations of it for other generations. And I was super into that. And then my mom was like, well, you know, you should see kind of one of the other original like high school teen drama shows. So this was like quintessentially like 90s one, and I think it only got 1 season or 2, but it's kind of like gone down in like cult classic status, because it's had a young Jared Leto in it and Claire Danes, and that, yeah, but I just wanted to be her, like, once I watched that, because in this first episode, she dyes her hair, like, this bright cherry red, and she wears, like, oversized plaid shirts and t-shirts and, like, lots of layers, but, like, lots of plaid layers and bright red hair, and I was just like, this is all I want to be. You know, and being attached to, you know, the Jordan Catalano of the world also wouldn't have been too bad. I don't know how I feel about Jared Leto now, but like 90s Jared Leto was chef's kiss. But yeah. So that's definitely the vibe. So if you two have a deep nostalgic for grunginess, yeah, I highly recommend High Fidelity. The movie and the show. I think the show got canceled after 1 season. I saw online it looks like maybe they're doing 2 seasons, but so far, not so much. It's really cool though, because I think it was like a Hulu show, but we obviously don't have Hulu in the UK, so Disney Plus kind of acquired it. I always assumed that because Disney is Disney, it wouldn't have any, like, you know how Netflix and Prime and all those things, they have, like, regional setups? So some of the things that are available on the, like, UK Netflix is not available in the Canadian one and the US one and vice versa. So that's why everybody's, like, super big into VPNs. But I just assumed, like, Disney would not put different things in different places because all of it's kind of just universally Disney. But I know that, like, this show in particular, that was meant to be a Hulu original, and so was Only Murders in the Building, which is the one with Selena Gomez, Steve Martin, and, oh, what's his name? What's his name? I want to say Dean, but I know that's not his name. Martin Short. Steve Martin and Martin Short. Yeah, so that one was meant to be a Hulu original, but that started showing up on Disney Plus as well. So I don't know if those shows in particular would be available on Disney Plus in places where Hulu exists. You know what I mean? I'm not sure about that. But also, too, another crossover. So one of them, the characters, in addition to Rob, played by Zoe Kravitz, she has these two friends who help run the record store. And one of them, this girl, I think her name's Charisse in this show, she's actually played by the woman who plays the detective on Only Murders in the Building. And she's amazing. Like, she's just, like, very snarky and cynical in both shows, but she just has so much more, like, hype energy in High Fidelity. Like, it's just really interesting to see the different kind of versions of her portrayed. But yeah. So that's really cool. I'm also really excited for season 2 of Only Murders in the Building. That was a really cool show. And that was actually, it was good because those shows actually got released, like, the new episodes weekly, which was a pain in the ass to wait around, but it was, in the long run, like, better for me because, like I said, I don't have very much impulse control when it comes to, like, just sitting down and binging something. It's really funny because, like, Liam will, like, watch, a handful of episodes and be like, okay, no, I think I'm done with this. Like, I'll switch to YouTube or I'll, like, go do something else. And I'm over here, like, I need to know what happens. I need to know what happens next. Like, we have all the episodes. Why don't we just keep going? So he reins me in when we're watching something that, like, both of us are watching. But, like, when it's just me on my own, I need some discipline. Okay. So I'm liking this shape. We have two options. I can continue, like, whittling down this so it gets smaller and tighter, or we can add more wool to the center to sort of beef it up a bit more. I'm gonna keep going like this for a bit, and then I think we might have to switch to that method. The beef up method. Okay. Some decent. I think the builders are currently installing the window and the door on the garage, like the back ones. We have, like, a, one of those big rolly doors being installed later to the front of the garage, but the back one that we'd have access to, which is going to be awesome because the foxes have been driving Shadow nuts. They basically, especially now too that there's lights and they're motion censored lights in the garage, and because there's no doors, the fox is just walking in and out of there. And Shadow will be either, like, in the house or he'll be out in the garden. He keeps getting distracted when he goes outside to go pee, and then, like, something sets him off and he doesn't actually end up going out to do what he's out there to do. But they'll just be like, here's the door of the garage, and they'll be in the middle of the door just, like, dead ass staring him down. And then Shadow's on the other side of this fence, like, barking his head off because he can't get access to these foxes that he wants to play with. And yeah, like, it just, it's such a pain in the ass. And it's interesting. Well, not interesting. It sucks, actually. I was talking to the builders and I was saying, yeah, like, the foxes are a huge pain in the ass right now. And he's like, yeah, we come in and all of our equipment, like, all the stuff that they leave behind on the job, and they come back the next day, he's like, they just piss all over it. He's like, everything smells like fox piss. I'm like, that sucks. Sorry to hear, bro. But if they finish installing that door, that'll just be one less thing that, like, it'll just further block their field of view, and so Shadow won't get to see them as often, which is nice. Because they do still, like, pre all of this demolition and stuff, they were just jumping over the fences and sometimes being in the garden. Not as much as before. Like, since we have Shadow, they're doing a pretty good job of, like, staying away. He's obviously, like, marked his territory enough to be like, this is my garden, which is what we were hoping would happen when we got him, because before they were just not having it. Okay, this is now looking like just a straight up triangle, and I feel like that's not the vibe, so we need to, yeah, sort of round this out a little bit. But yeah, so hopefully once that goes in, and then once the fence panels go in, the garden will be more secure, and then we can actually let him run around sort of kind of on the job site while the builders aren't there, so he gets more free reign of his garden. Because he just had a little patch for going on 2 weeks now. Yeah, is it 2 weeks? Yeah. Because they started the 10th of January. Maybe it's been 3 weeks now. Tis been... Yeah, 3 weeks. Almost 4 weeks. Yeah, so almost like a month without having like full capacity of the garden for him to like roam around in. So he's gets a little antsy. I think that was part of the reason why he was getting like such aggressive zoomies on the walk, because he hadn't had like an opportunity to let all of that out, which is fair. Yeah, I feel bad for him. He's been really good though. And then sometimes the builders give him attention, which he then eats up. But not all the time. And then he will sometimes bark at them and demand it, and I have to tell him off because they're not here for him. They're here to make a garage. Okay. I think if we round this guy out... Ooh. That will... Oops. Whoops, whoops, whoops. There we go. And maybe like pinch in here a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Let's stay there. Just make it match on both sides. Yeah, because this... I think this will be the front anyway, just because this is where it has a bit more of the like multicolored textural thing. I say that I'm gonna lay more stuff on top of it. I guess I can lay it on the back. But... Okie dokes. Okay. Don't want to do too much more. I say that, but I wonder if we do this, if that will help. Because I've done a lot of work on like the edges, but not as much on the bottom, so hopefully to the part where I don't want to get too aggressive with it, because then I will just full on accidentally stab myself. And we don't want any injuries. No crafting injuries, please. Yeah. Whoop. Okay, am I fiddling with it too much? Maybe. This is the shape. Kind of looks a little bit like a flying saucer, but I'm not mad about that. Okay. So this is super translucent still. So I think we need to add more thread. I like the color sort of marbled effect on the front here. So I'm gonna put it on the back and hope that that will be okay. Because I know we won't see the back, so hopefully beefing it up that way will be sufficient. It's just... Okay. We are just bulking this up, and then once it gets to a space where it just doesn't feel as like it just feels a little bit denser, like I want it to have a bit of weight to it, then we will move on to the stem. Want to try, 'cause I think last time I made the stem and then had to add a bit more to get like this sort of highlight on the bottom. So I think I'm gonna try a slightly different tactic and almost like start with this and then bring that into the nub, into the stem, and see if that makes a difference. Might mix a little bit more of the beige just so that it's not looking... I know it's the back and so it doesn't have to like have a lot going on, but I just feel like it might have like a really stark contrast if it just then becomes just bright red, because that's kind of what happened here. You can like clearly see, besides the fact that I like swooped it in one section, that it's like that's super red compared to the rest of it. But that's all right. think this will be too much. Seems like an aggressive amount, but I feel like once we get it in there, it's just gonna kind of get all sucked up, and it won't make a difference. So far, knock on all the wood, we are on track. Not like 100%, but like we're slowly on track to my like at least one new follow per stream will sort of keep us on track to getting closer to our affiliate goal of 50 followers, the magical number. I've already... Basically, there's 4 requirements to become an affiliate, and I've achieved half of that. Half of it, like, is just streaming consistently for however many days and however many hours. And so by doing this consistently, like, that's just naturally going to happen. But the other 2 are getting 50 followers and then having an average, I think it's 5. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to give y'all the middle finger. 5... viewers on average per stream for 30 days. So once all that criteria is met, then we will become an affiliate, and then we can get into subscribers, emotes, all that good fun stuff. And so we can do more, because right now we can't really do much, but just, you know, vibe out, start building our fun little community of friends, and go from there. So yeah, I think, like, I know originally I was like, okay, let's try to get to 20 before mid-February. That seems a little bit crazy. I'm content with getting 10 every month until we hit the 50 goal. I know I said I wanted to get to affiliate before my birthday, but I feel like February being such a small month, that might not be the most realistic stance. So instead of... It can still happen though, because that would essentially be like 2 followers per stream. 2 new followers per stream. So it could happen, but I think maybe a more realistic goal might be 1 each stream and to get 10 by the end of the month. Which is good because we're at 14, so we're 6 away, which is pretty awesome. We are a small but mighty group, and I love us all. Okay, yeah, see, the beefiness is like, I think that's really helping. We want a beefy mushroom. Isn't that like one of the things that people do to, like, that's like a vegan meat alternative, like a vegan burger alternative is a mushroom burger. So it makes sense that we want a beefy mushroom for the vegans. There we go. Get that sort of bucket hat bell formation that we're going for this time around. And then I think as well what I'm gonna do is make our 3 dots before I stick them on, because I made 1 dot, stuck it on, and then was like, wait a second, I don't know how to place all of these. It turned out all right, obviously, like, she cute, but we learn. I'm gonna make sure that all of this is firmly attached. I can go in, I have like little snippers, because I did that with this one where I kind of went around and got a lot of the stragglers. Because I don't know if you've seen, like, there's some people who do really, really intense needle felting, and it just looks so smooth. and you're like, what sorcery is this? How do you get it so that you don't have all these like little stragglers just kind of peeking out at all times? Like, it's not, I don't know. It blows my mind. I'm like, that's crazy. But we're not there yet. So I will use some snipper assistance to make it so that it's not as straggly. There we go. Okay, this feels good. This is a good weight. I'm liking the marbly technique on this mushroom. So, next step. It is. It's witchcraft, isn't it? It's good. You see my trials and errors in real time. Okay, so I think what we're going to do next is we'll do the stem, and my plan is to do this like highlight section from each side, and then have it go into itself, into a prayer emoji, just, you know, and then we'll form it out into that section there. So this, luckily, I haven't had to bust out the white floss or the white wool that came with all of the other ones. This is still from the kit when I made this like little terrier. So I have a lot left over, which is really exciting. Oh. Shadow's tired of my shit. He's gone to go sleep in bed. He usually spends, you know, the first like hour of stream, first 45, like half hour, 45 minutes in here with me, and then he might move like from beside me to the far end of the room, and then he eventually moves over into the bedroom. So he's made that switch early today, which is fine. I don't blame him. So we're just sort of breaking up this wool so we don't have any sort of chunky lines that get mixed in. I feel like this feels a lot coarser than this stuff did. This must be like a slightly different, because it's from a different kit. Yeah, it always is. I made the mistake of not taking him for a walk before stream, and he was absolutely acting a fool. So now, lesson learned. We always go for a walk before stream. Okay. I think now we'll split this in half. We'll see how this goes. We'll split this in half, and then I'll use this bit to go into the center, and then I'll do the same thing on the other side. And hopefully that will happen. Okay, this is the front, so I don't want to make it. We'll see. We'll see. We'll just see how it goes. Giving the mushroom some whiskers, giving it a beard. Oh. Looks a little chaotic right now, but hopefully I'll see you later. See you soon. good. I feel like crafting, for me at least, is very therapeutic. So this has been just elevating my mood, which is exactly what I needed after my like yucky, anxious feeling is gone now. So that's very exciting. Uh-oh. I didn't think there'd be a chance that I would warp the shape of the mushroom by doing this. I should have known better, but we can always reshape it after we've sorted this out. If anything, it might get even more bell-shaped as we go, which it wouldn't be a bad thing. So once we get to the center, and we'll do the same to the other side. The other thing too, which will be cool, is then it's like if we needed to add a little bit more here, we can just double back on itself and still keep some of the threads attached. Like I'll steal some of this. Like I'll steal this little guy and then we'll kind of wrap him around here. And then that will bulk out this section and just make it a little bit denser without taking away too much from the tail. Whereas obviously if we had threaded all of this down, then we would have been able to take it and move it somewhere else. But because I don't think we'll need all of this for, or if we do need all of it for the stem, I can always add to the stem afterwards. But we're also going to be getting sections of like wool from the other side. So I think that will be enough. So if we take a little bit here and there to just bulk out either side of this, I think that will be fine. So that's really good. Trying to think what else would be like, because I was trying to think of Forestcore, or what did my friend say? What did Jen say? What did Jen call it? Gnomecore. I like that. So yeah, between like sort of Forestcore or like Gnomecore vibes, I was trying to think what else is Forestcore besides just like mushrooms and trees. As like an image, because I feel like a lot of the mood boards that I've seen, it'll be like the aesthetic, it'll be a lot of clothing choices, which again like totally makes sense because a lot of like aesthetic culture is clothing based. But I can't like, I guess I could, but I'm like, I don't think I, could needle felt a plaid shirt, like needle felt something like that. I want to needle felt things that you could then pin onto said plaid shirt to like double down on your Forestcore aesthetic. So I'm not sure what other kind of needle felted images would sort of match that vibe besides this. Maybe like little animals. So like maybe a squirrel or a frog. Those could be options. I want to bring this a little bit more to the forefront because I don't want this to get lost. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Because I don't know if the like white should be kind of more to the front like this guy, or if it should be like basically directly underneath it. Yeah, I don't know. This is looking okay though. I'm just gonna go with it. Let's just roll with this and see how it goes. Okay, we're not quite into the center yet. I think it was a good move adding a little bit more of the wool to that outer side. I think I might do that a little bit more with this. Make sure you guys can all see what I'm doing. I feel like the bright blue nail polish really like draws the focus in. Okay. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, so we've got our little stem phalange hanging out on this side, and now we're going to do the same to the other side and then join them together, and hopefully that will work. So make sure. There we go. I'm extending it a little bit past the actual base of the mushroom, because then I think I'm going to double it back just to make it a bit thicker, because I don't want any red to show through the bottom. So you can kind of see here I was able to cover most of it. There's a little bit like kind of peeking through, so I'm gonna have to go back in afterwards and just add a little bit more, but that is the goal. Just trying to remember. Yeah, this is the front. Okay. Okay. So once I get all of this into place, I think it will go a lot quicker. I just want to make sure it's not looking too crazy. There's just like wool phalanges everywhere. This is off center, so we'll probably have to double back a bit. Oh, okay. We'll see. We'll see. We're just going with it. We made a decision and we are just riding it out and seeing how it goes. Oh, there we go. I don't know what time it is. Oh, okay, cool, cool. Cool, cool. So yeah, we'll keep the felting train going until like 5:30. So I do want to finish this guy before the end of stream. That's always my goal. I think like that's going to be my goal with all the needle felting is like I want to make a project that's not so wild that it can't be finished in 2 hours. Obviously, the cross-stitching streams, that's a bit more of a long haul. That's not going to be done in... It kind of looks like a Forestcore jellyfish. Like, this is sort of giving me, like... Yeah. Like mushroom jellyfish. It's cute. I like it. Okay. Do we have any gaps we need to close in terms of coverage before we get into the stem? Just gonna do a little bit more just to be safe, because once we start doing a stem, this isn't gonna, I'm not gonna be able to get this stuff out. So I need to try to make this as opaque as I want to now before we continue. It's definitely almost there. Just needs a little bit of help. Just a little bit more. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, that was a good call. So we'll do this on this side, adding a little bit more of the white. We'll take it before we officially go into the stem. Hi! Jazzy May Colors. That's such a cool name. A raid is coming. Oh my goodness. I've never experienced a raid before. Oh my goodness. Thank you? I don't know. What do I do? What do I do? I just keep doing what I'm doing? Okay. Oh, yay. Oh, that's so amazing. Oh, this is so exciting. Thank you so much. Oh, yay. Wow. Is it Nuda Creates? New Day Creates. Nook Day Creates. Thank you so much. Tell us about yourself. Well, I'm Nostalgia Tash. I am an anxious crafter who loves tea and everything like 90s, early 2000s. Aw, Daywolf Pup, thank you so much. I usually have a little fur baby beside me while I'm streaming, but he has gone into the bedroom. But he makes a lot of... Oh, did I? Perfect! Yay! Yes, I am. I started in January. Very, very new. Right now we're needle felting some little Forestcore mushroom boys. Little mushroom creatures. We did this last week. Oh my god. Seriously? Like, that would just be insane. I'm trying to get to 50 before my birthday. I'm turning 30 on the 21st of March. And I was like, oh, if I could get to affiliate and get to 50 before that, that would be crazy. Yeah. Oh, guys, like this is amazing. Thank you so much. But yeah, so I'm needle felting on Thursdays. This is what we made last week. And then on Tuesdays, oh my god, yay, 90s babies! On Tuesdays, I then cross-stitch. Oh, this is so funny. I'll show you what, I'm working on a pattern, And it's actually it's going to be a 90s baby pattern. So right now I've just got the 90 part. But yeah, so all of us 90s babies are going to have our own little fun cross-stitching pattern in celebration of us. Yeah, oh, so exciting. But yeah, so this is what we're doing right now. And then on Tuesdays we cross-stitch. It's a very exciting, fun time. 88, oh, that's okay. My partner's 89. So it's like you still got all the cool vibes. If anything, you were older, so you got to like fully enjoy the 90s in terms of like all the things it had to offer. Because like I feel like I was talking about this earlier when it comes to, oh my god, yes, perfectly. Perfect, yes, yes, yes. I will come by and give you a follow, and I can't wait. Yeah. Oh my goodness. When do you stream? I have part of the issue is when all the people that I follow right now, they're all based in like America, in the US and in Canada and stuff. So I'm usually in bed at like 11 o'clock when everybody streams. So Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays. Perfect. Oh, awesome. I will 1000% go give you a follow and check that out. I'm from the Azores. Cool. Oh my goodness. Guys. Hi. Mamarita. Thank you so much. In the UK too. I'm in Florida. Okay, cool. Sometimes, like, it depends. Like, if people stream early, that's really good. But then sometimes people do, like, late evening streams. And I'm like, guys, I'm in bed. Like, I'm so sorry. Perfect. Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's decent then. So, because it's, what time is it here? It's 4:50. So. It's true. It's 100%. Your childhood, Daywolf Pup, was the 90s, where I feel like I was still like a child. Oh, in Portugal. Very cool. I'm originally from Ontario, Canada, so I moved to the UK almost 5. It'll be my 5 years moving into the UK. But yeah, I'm actually from a small town in northern Ontario. But I've been here for 5 years now. I can always tell how many years I've been because it's the same time, it's the same age as my nephew. So my nephew was born the year I moved here. And so now I can always remember how many years I've been here based on how old he is. So he's turning 5. And so I know it'll be my 5th year here. Oh, thank you. I did them myself. I always I'm obsessed with Holo Taco. I don't know if you've ever seen Simply Nailogical or Christine, who also streams and does nail polish stuff and is amazing. But so she's the one who got me hooked on like flaky holo toppers, because now I can't just like paint my nails like just a boring creme color anymore. I always have to put like something sparkle or something like shifty or crazy. But I actually matched it to the colors in my cross stitch, because the other cross stitch I'm working on is the cross stitch from the Cryptid Stitch Along, and I themed them last week, so I switched it up. Oh, nail polish wraps. That's really awesome. Did it take you a while to get used to them? Because I find like, Nail Queen, like why didn't I put 2 and 2 together? I should be talking to you about nail polish. Do you find, Jazzy May Colors, do you find nail wraps like take less time than painting your nails? Is it like easier? Because I find that they're like easier, but they're kind of like a different beast. A little bit, like a baby one. I still appreciate like a good just like all around creme color, but I feel like I've been ruined now where I need to put the hollow on my nails or like the multi-chrome or the unicorn skin. Like I can't just have, yeah, or something. Because I know sometimes like, oh, I don't know, Nail Queen, like if you're a nail tech, do you do like nail art? Because I've seen like some people who do them on like acrylics and sell them as sets, or yeah. I actually have one. Actually, 1 second. Let me go get it. I have a nail wrap in my cupboard. Give me 2 seconds. My mom actually brought these over when she came to visit. So they're like really cool and sparkly and stuff. So I will eventually put these on my nails. But until then. Yeah. They're definitely less messy than nail wrap situation for sure. But yeah, she brought over a bunch, and some of them, like, it was around Christmas time, so there was a bunch of Christmassy themed ones and then not Christmassy themed ones, and then these ones are... Is this the same brand that you use, Nail Queen? Or called, like, Color Street? Or do you have different, like, I'm sure there's different brands and stuff. I've seen a few of them, like, pop up online. Yeah, glitter hollow nail wraps. Oh, okay. It's like a Portuguese brand. Very cool. But yeah, just see, you did say that you do nail art. Like, that just blows my mind. Like, the little tiny attention to detail, like, little... I don't know, man. Like, I can do a gradient. That's, like, as far as I've gotten. Or, like, the nail stickers. I got really into stamping plates for a minute, but, like, I don't have the knack for it. Yeah, totally. Share links, and then I can also come find you later if you share them, for sure. Like, obviously, I'll look you up, because, you know, but that would make it easier. Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Lily and Fox. I'll have to look them up. Like I said, these ones, like, my mom gave them to me because I think a woman, like, her hairdresser or something recommended them, and so she just got them from her. So I didn't know they were, like, the bougie versions. Lily and Fox. I'll have to look that up. She did say that, like, they were they were a little bit more on the expensive side. So, like, as a treat, like, that would be when she would use them. So, your statement checks out to me. Perfect. Oh, shit. Do I need to edit something? Let me check. No. Huh. How do you... Let me see if there's a way that I can change this. Because I want you to be able to post things. Blocked things. Nope, that's not a thing. Permitted terms. Blur, blur, blur. Oh, block hyperlinks. Nope, we are going to unblock the hyperlinks for you. Yes, perfect. Okay. Hopefully that has done it. I've just toggled that off. So try again and see if you can post the links now. Perfect. Yay! Excellent. Okay. Awesome. Excellent. There we go. Me too. I'm so glad you guys are here. This, like, honestly made my day. Got a little, it was a little bit like, whew. Awesome. Oh, here, let me check. Let me check the link while we're here. Dude. Those are super cute. Little cherry babies. That's awesome. That's so awesome. Thank you so much. And it's wild because, like, now we're one follow away from what my goal was to get to mid-February, which is, like, wild to me. Because here I was, like, before you guys all showed up and gave me all this love, I was like, oh, we'll, like, readjust our goals and, you know, like, we might not, but then come in and save the day. Beautiful. 100%. Yeah, I will do on Saturday. Absolutely. Love it. Okay. So I think now we've gotten, oh no. Yeah. Oh. This is amazing. Holy balls, guys! We just met the follower goal! Brr, 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 brr. Oh my god, that's insane! Yeah! Aw, Nail Queen, my queen! I bow down to you! That was fabulous! Oh, guys. That's incredible. We did it. Your emotes are all so cute, guys. I love this hype train that's going on right now. Oh, oh, my heart. So what do you do on your streams, Nail Queen? Are you a crafter as well? I'm like, because you clearly already are an artist. We've already seen based on your nail art. So yeah, it's so pretty. She does, and so do you. Aww. That's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. I love that. I love that so much. And you're totally right. Like, things are hard, and so you just need, like, good peeps to come together. So good. There we go. So we're making our little nub now. I opted to do a little tiny baby one because I feel like that'll just look cute. Yeah. Same. just nice. Like, half the time, just, like, knowing that there's other people out there that are, like, doing the same stuff that you're doing. Oh, Angelic Dreamer, thank you so much. Hang on. Let me just go in, because, like, all of this shit happened so fast. I need a moment to just thank everybody for just being the absolute amazingness. So, Jazzy May Colors, thank you for being a boss. Nail Queen, thank you so much. You are truly, wonderfully a queen. This is Nuke Day Creates. Thank you so much. You're amazing. Day Wolf Pup. Cheers. Fabs. Thank you so much. Yes, Nail Queen. Again, a million times again. Mama Rita. Thank you so much. You are fabulous. Mare 327. Thank you so much. And Angelic Dreamer. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. This is just, like, I don't even know what to do with myself now. Like, we'll keep crafting, but, like, geez. This is so good. Okay. This wasn't it? This wasn't the hype train? Oh, that's so cool. Do you make your own emotes? That's fun. I love a lurk. Love a good lurk. It does, doesn't it? Like Toad. This is definitely giving me, like, Toad vibes. Like, if I chopped this off and, like, gave it a face, it would definitely be, like, a Toad thing. For sure. Which I also feel is, like, a very nostalgic thing. Like, Super Mario and stuff. Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness. That's so cool. That's awesome. I love that. I've definitely been, like, thinking of emote ideas. I really should ask my brother-in-law, because my brother-in-law is an artist, and if I ask real nicely, he also has, like, anxiety and things. I feel like I didn't mean to, like, out him as having those things. But yeah. Yeah, I hope you get one too. They sound awesome the way that Nail Queen's describing them. Like, it just sounds like... That's so cool. Definitely. Girl, go get fed. Get yourself some food. Get your peeps some food. Get your cat some food. I have my emergency granola bar in case I need it later. I've been doing all right, but get yourself fed. $15. That sounds pretty good. Okay. Now, this is definitely the right length, but it just needs to get, it's really, like, soft. We need to dense it up, similar to this. This is good. I feel like we're all learning so much right now, especially me. Learning and sharing, and this is what it's all about, isn't it? That's awesome, yeah. There's a lot. Like, I was doing a little bit of research in terms of, like, emote creation and stuff, and there definitely is, like, I think Fiverr is another place that has a lot of people that would do that. Do it. Share those links. Let me check. Did you make that? You crochet too? Damn. That's really cool. I think one time I tried to crochet a beanie and then... No, I didn't. I tried to like loom a beanie. Yeah, I could tell. I could definitely tell. That's awesome. My mother-in-law loves like Beatrix Potter and Peter Rabbit and stuff. It's like super detailed too. Like I didn't realize like you could get that detailed with crochet. I'm gonna add a little bit more to this. Hang on. Let me. So you did. That's so cute. Yeah, and like the like chest fuzz and stuff too. I can tell that that's needle felt. Wow. That's so cool. That's like a whole other world now. You're like mixing mediums and stuff. That's awesome. Okay. Ew. I think just for emergencies, we're just gonna put on the leather finger condoms for safety purposes, because this is okay. Ooh. So once we get this out, then we're just gonna make our little dudes, and then we... Wow. I love that, because I feel like there's a lot of... I don't know if there is, but I perceive there to be a little bit of pressure to like specialize in a certain thing. To pick. Yeah, that's awesome. I don't know, like, I don't know why, like, I had this sort of thing where it's like, oh, you don't want to do too much, like, you kind of want to specify, like, the few things that you want to be into, but it's really cool to see that it's like, whatever I feel like doing, like, here's all of the stuff I do. That's really cool. Okay, this is definitely beefier now. Kind of. I feel like last year, yeah, I think it was last year, a couple years ago, a friend of mine gave me a kit that's really cool. Wow. Miniature building sounds intense. But yeah, so I got a kit, and then I was like, this is really cool. I can't believe that you could just stab something a million times and it creates something like that. just the idea of it. But yeah, so I'd say like a couple years. I mostly like, I actually started out doing bead weaving, so I did a lot of like jewelry making based off of like bead weaving kits. And then about 4 years ago, I got into cross stitch. Thank you. On my Instagram, actually, I think I have a few, what are they called? Like story highlights. And I've gone through all of the, yeah, I've saved all of the different pieces that I've done. So I can link that at some point. But yeah, so mostly now it's been cross stitch, but I feel, I don't know, like I've gotten more into, I kind of stopped doing the needle felting because I didn't really have any ideas, but now I'm full of them, so. Yeah, it is. Finally. It wasn't for a while, but I finally got the handle back, so it's just nostalgia_tash. Yeah, and that will be me. I should probably set up some like automatic commands to plug some stuff, but it's all linked there. I think the last frontier is for me to acquire the underscore in my Twitter handle, and then all of the accounts will have the same name. Because for a moment it wasn't. What's this? Yeah, 'tis the same. Okay, looking good. Yeah, I definitely need to get into that for sure. I think it's like I slowly mastered like what alerts were. So that was like my last big thing. I had a bunch of tech issues when I first started, so I've slowly like worked those out. And so yeah, the automatic chat commands and like the emotes and the stuff, like there's all things I'm slowly figuring out. So I will look into Nightbot now too. Okay, so I'm happy with the density of this now. So we'll move on to the final frontier, which is our little circles. Yeah. Yeah, that's Shadow. So that's, he usually makes appearances on stream as well, usually sleeping. Because I take him for a walk before I stream, because if I don't, then he just wants to play and is an absolute, like, you know, I can't actually craft. So, we, yeah. So he's around. He shows up sometimes. And that was a doggy. We take him to, like, this puppy play group every Saturday. And so they had a, like, ugly Christmas sweater contest before they closed for the year. 1000%. 1000% Halloween is my favorite. Absolutely. 10 out of 10, 1000%. It's my absolute favorite holiday of all time. And it's, yeah, it's frustrating because I feel like it's not as big of a thing in the UK. It's getting there, but like I grew up like in Canada. It's 100% like a huge thing. I do. I love Tim Burton. Night Before Christmas is, like, definitely up there for me. I was just talking about how, like, I think it would be really cute to make, like, a sandworm from Beetlejuice into a needle felted pin. I think that would look super cute. But, yeah, love. Oh, you use spirit boxes, too. Wow. I've never actually used one of those. I think my friend has. Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. I have a bunch of tarot cards. It's another thing that, like, I, like, dabble in and out of. I think because I'm so, like, I don't know, like, I want to know all of the things right away, and things that take, like, time to build your intuition, and, like, you need to sort of work on it. I don't know. I get, like, all in my head about it. Oh. Yeah, exactly. I'm the same thing new to creates. It's like, yeah, I don't know. My brother actually, he got me a Guillermo del Toro themed one, which is really cool. The artwork's amazing, but I've never seen any of the movies. I think I've like watched most of Pan's Labyrinth, but I haven't finished it. I haven't like fully seen it, but I have a tarot deck that's in his art style. No, not on me. They're all downstairs, but I'll bring them next time for sure. I'm trying to think where I could have them. Do you really? That's so cool. I also have, because I'm obsessed with trees, I just think that trees are the coolest thing in the world. I also have a tree oracle deck, which I think is also really cool. So a tree oracle deck, and then I have like an alchemic one. And yeah, then this one. Yeah, I have a few. I'll bring them. I'll show you next stream, definitely. I'll just bring out, yeah, I'll have to bring all the decks up next time, and then we'll just have to, it'll be like a show and tell. I'll be like, here's all of the things that I don't quite know how to use just yet. I was thinking actually, because like that's another thing I want to start getting more into or combining more. So I think it might be cool to draw like a card before stream and just be like, here's sort of the vibe and here's sort of what's going on. Yeah. To get into that, I was doing like a daily card pull for a while and like journaling about it and stuff. That was before we got the dog, and I ended up getting, you know, woken up a lot earlier than I was used to. Because I was not a morning person, but now I wake up at like 7 in the morning almost every day. Ooh, I like that. Arcane bullshit, definitely. Okay. So, we gotta just round this bad boy out. Yay! How was your food? I hope your cats enjoyed their food as well. Okay. So this guy isn't fully, there's still a lot of stragglers out, but I think that'll be okay when we pop this in. Oh, my fan doesn't like me. Ooh, that sounds nice. Love cream cheese. Peach tea, very nice. Very nice. Champion's meal. Okay, one little dot, and we're not going to stick them on yet. We're going to actually make the other 3, because last time I stuck one on, and I didn't think about the fact that maybe I would want to place them all before I stick them. So we're going to do that this time. This feels like a little bit too much. There we go. feel like actually I want to make a smaller one. Okay. Yeah. Dokes. Oh no, is it cold right now? Please go get yourself warm. I absolutely hate being cold. It was not bad. It was weird though, because I thought that it would be easy, because I'm like, oh, it's just an English-speaking country to another English-speaking country. Like, there's not going to be any growing pains. But there definitely were. I think now, like, I'm mostly, I would say mostly adjusted. I think the thing too is I also moved from like a bit smaller of a town into like sort of right next to sort of like a major city. Like we're sort of right outside of London. So it's really not the same like small sort of community vibes that I grew up with. Like we used to go for walks in our neighborhoods like when I was a kid. And, like, you said hi to everybody. Like, everybody was super friendly and super chill. And, like, in London, everybody's sort of, like, focused on their own shit. Every once in a while, like, you'll get some nice people, especially now that, like, we have Shadow. Like, people who are into dogs that, like, want a bit of, like, a pet or something like that. Like, they'll be really chatty with you. But for the most part, like, especially other dog walkers, too. Like, they're just, like, I'm taking my dog for a walk. Like, we're doing our own thing. Kind of don't talk to me. Every once in a while, though, it's different. And it depends where. Like, we went on a holiday. And, like, there's certain places that just give off, like, more, like, dog lover vibes. And so that was really different than, like, what it's like around here. Yeah. So it's not bad. I think sometimes, too, though, like, some of it is just, like, silly things. Like, people don't get your references. Like, if you reference something that's, like, super niche, like a random niche Canada thing, or even, like, a US-based thing, because there's some stuff that hasn't, like, that didn't obviously cross the pond, same ways. Like, sometimes my friends or my partner will say something, and I'll be like, I don't know who that is. Like, I don't get the reference. So, sometimes that's a bit, like, you know, you kind of want somebody who... Like, it's really cool when you, like, bring something up and somebody is like, oh, I know who that is. And you're like, what? You know who that is? Like, that's wild. Yeah, so that's different. One thing, too, that I actually thought was like, it was weird. Excellent! Full burrito mode. I know, that'll be me in a little bit because my hands are, like, getting a little cold. I'm also, like, a big proponent. I think right now, actually, I have leg warmers on because I get really cold knees. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I had never thought about it before, but, like, the rest of me will be, like, kind of okay. But, like, my knees will be cold. And I don't understand. So it took me forever to find leg warmers that were long enough that actually, like, covered my knees to keep them warm. Because it wasn't, like, the rest of my leg that was the problem. It was just my knees. So, I feel you on, like, being cold. That's the one thing, actually. You're asking Jazzy May about like adjusting. What I'm super, super excited about or super glad about is I'm not dealing with like the minus 30 degrees Celsius and how much snow like that Canada gets. It's not snowed yet here. And it very rarely gets into like the negative Celsius situation. Whereas like, yeah, so it'll be like, I don't know, To be fair, though, it's so stupid, though, because now it'll be, like, you know, not even -2 degrees, and I'm like, why am I freezing? I grew up in, like, -20 degree weather, having to go outside and, like, chip my car out of the driveway and all this kind of stuff. Oh, no! Girl, I hope you have unlimited data. Don't do that to yourself. I'm like, I'm so happy you're here, but, like, don't get a really high cell phone bill. Yeah. I know the weather here has been really strange. Luckily, knock on all the wood, it's been doing a stereotypically un-British thing and not raining all the time. Because that is like quintessential British weather. It's like gray and rainy. Which was like maybe not the smartest idea for me to move to such a gray place when I already probably lack vitamin D. But it's, yeah, much brighter now. Oh. The hubby is home. You'll probably hear him. Shadow gets raised from his slumber with the sound of the door being opened. Oh, are you? Excellent. So you get it. You get it. The UK is gray. Gray and gloomy. I'm trying to think if I think I've only been to Wales once, and that's because I was with a group of people and we tried to do the Three Peaks Challenge, where you climb 3 different mountains in 3 different places. And one of them was in Wales. Ooh, rainbow, yes. Yes. Was it a double rainbow or just a single rainbow? There's been a few of them, actually. Lately, I've seen, too. That's always such a fun, promising vibe. Yeah, definitely. I actually have, I have, like, a sad lamp, but it's actually, like, a visor. So I call it my tactical visor. So I put it on, I look like a video game character. So it's just, like, this thing that sits on my head and just, like, shines light in it. Oh, yeah, that's okay. That's still magical as hell, though. Rainbows are magical as hell. But yeah, definitely light therapy. I also take like vitamin D every day, so I've been doing okay in that regard. I think like after 5 years, I've slowly like managed my my vitamin D intake from moving to a place like this. But yeah, I highly recommend light therapy if it's something that no one's ever tried before. Yeah. They're really good. Yeah, I don't know. I think my mom got it for me, like, years ago. But yeah, it's like a sad lamp, but it's a visor, so I can, like, wear it like a head torch. It also has, like, not only, like, the red, like, the sunlight sun, but it also has a red light. So that definitely makes me feel like a video game character. Okay, one last circle, and then we will place them and we will stab them in place, and then we'll be done, which is very exciting. 2 toadstools down, drastically different, but like both super cute, both still valid. Might try to do an even smaller one. Yeah. Do you have a sun lamp, Jazzy May? Have you found it helpful? Okay, let me stab this here. Yeah. Probably it just helps like getting fresh air too, like air circulation and stuff. Yeah, I guess that's fair. Welcome back, Queen. How rude, eh? Internet needs to smarten up. Do you find too, like, obviously when your internet is working, do you have like dead zones in like places in your house too? Because there'll be certain sections like where I'll just be walking or I'll be sitting. We had a problem with it. I think we got an extender, but like you'd be sitting in one place and you want to check your phone and you're like, I know the internet is on. Why are you sassing me like this? And it's just like, yeah, why is it the bathroom? I don't know if it's like the tiles or something. But to be fair, like I probably shouldn't have my phone with me in the bathroom, but it's like such a hard habit to break. To be fair, even like before I had a cell phone, like me and my brother would have Game Boy Colors and we would take those to the bathroom. So I feel like this is just the revolution, you know, like, or the evolution of that. I don't know, you just get bored in there sometimes. Like, don't judge me. Maybe they do that on purpose. I think it's like excessively tiled ones maybe. Because like my down... Yeah, I don't know. Yeah! That or you have to like read the ingredients on shampoo bottles to pass the time. Or like back in the... To be fair, back in the day, like... I don't know if your family homes had this or something, but like we had like... the magazine rack holder that like lived under the toilet roll, and there would just be magazines in there, so you could flick through them while you were pooping. Jeez, I only just remembered that was a thing. Well, thank you. But like, I just had a visceral memory of like, that was a thing that you could buy, was just like the magazine rack holder that lived in the bathroom for when you needed to poop. And that's definitely not a thing anymore. Yeah. I'm excited about it. I don't know. Like, I feel like... Exactly, right? It's just a natural progression. It went from, like, reading to watching. That doesn't seem like a stretch. I feel like, now that I've remembered that was a thing, I feel less bad about it. Because instead of reading a magazine, I'm just like reading my Twitter feed. Okay, we are done. Ooh, I think I'm already happy with this placement. I wasn't sure if we were going to move around a little bit more. This feels good. Maybe move this guy a little bit. Okay, let's do it. So we've committed. The first stabs have occurred. Okay. Excuse me. Why aren't you fusing? What I shove it in this way? Ooh, shit. That was a bad move. Now there's a red dot there. Whoops. But it wasn't sticking, guys. Maybe we can reverse that. Okay. Oh, that was dumb. Oh well. Just kind of went into the corner here. But yeah, 100%, like I echo the sentiment of like 30 does feel old. Like I feel like I've gotten to the point now where anytime I move or have to make like any sort of dramatic movement, like an audible noise comes out of my mouth. It's like a I'm like, young people don't do that. Young people don't make noises when they just move their body normally. But I'm excited about like the mental aspects of getting older, because I feel like I was such a mess in like my 20s and like my teen years, like trying to figure stuff out. Exactly, right? Anytime you like crouch down and just like things start snapping and popping and you're like, cool, this didn't happen 15 years ago. But I definitely feel like every year I get older, like I just feel a little bit more myself. Like I'm just starting to get a handle on things. Still very much feel like a work in progress a lot of times, but I learned a lot more than before. Oh, Shadow does that. Shadow will actually like stretch. So he'll like be getting off the sofa and he'll do his like big down dog stretch. And sometimes he'll do it off the sofa. And so many times we'll be sitting there and then he'll do his big stretch and then toot and then walk off. And I'm like, sir, that was offensive. But then now too, like I just do it back to him. Not in his face. That would be rude. But he always looks so alarmed. Like, anytime, like, I fart, he'll be like, what was that? I'm like, was me? I don't know what to tell you. But yeah, he'll definitely do that. I think it's a power move. Where, like, I think I think it's a power move when you just, like, pass gas and then walk away. And you're like, what? I feel bad, though, because, like, I have celiac disease. So I have, like, gastrointestinal issues. Much better than it was, but sometimes I would just apologize. Yeah. It was so funny, actually. I remember in the 9th grade, I went to a performing arts high school, and we were like, I don't know, we were in like a vocal music class, and we were going to this stage. So you get it, right? Like any gastrointestinal issues where you have to like monitor your diet to make sure that the lower half of you doesn't explode at any given moment. You get it, Jazzy May. But yeah, so in the 9th grade, we ended up going like to check out this stage that we would be like performing on or whatever. And I got there first with my friend. And I remember I farted. And she was so shocked, actually. And she got there and she just looked at me. And she burst out laughing because she expected me to deny it. I was the only one on the stage. Obviously, it was me. And I just looked at her and I was like, I don't know what I ate. I don't know what I ate for it to be this rank. And she always remembers that as like a, you know, a key moment in our friendship of her being like, what was that? And I'll be like, I don't know. I know it was me, but I don't know how. Yeah, honestly. It's a thing. We say it now. It's a thing that my nephew does. Like, now we have this whole kind of inside joke thing, me and my partner, because when my nephew, he's still little, he's turning 5 this year, but sometimes he would toot, he would fart, and then he'd sort of be like, oh, and we'd be like, what just happened? He'd be like, uh-oh, tootie bum. So now we do that, especially even when Shadow farts. It's like, uh-oh, tootie bum. So y'all can have that one. Okay. How do I get rid of this tiny little red bit that I got involved in here? I think we'll put like the tiniest bit of floss in here to just cover up our boo-boo. Oh yeah, what did you make? Okay, we're just selecting this. That's so cute. Oh my god, I love that. One of the things I want to make, actually, is I want to make like a little teapot with a little like mouse peeking out of it. Very reminiscent, like Alice in Wonderland, of like the Sleepy Dormouse. So I feel like that's a very similar vibe. This like teddy bear with a bird. Like, that's the cutest little thing. Yeah. So that will definitely happen one day. He's melting. Was he like not dense enough? Like, did you kind of, because you can like stab the shape, but then it can act like it can end up being a little bit, Hey man, here, do you want to see this? I'll show you the first ever thing that I needle felted. Oh, he's a vibe. I don't know if he's exactly, so this was the kit. And it's meant to be a terrier, like a little terrier, but he has such a long boy nose. Like, he's cute, but like, he definitely wasn't what it was supposed to look like. You know, when it's like you see the thing where it's like the picture, the real thing. Like, it was so different. But it was the first one, so I was like, oh, it's alright. He's still cute. He sits up on his own, so that's all I can really ask of him. But this was the first one I ever did. And so we've learned a lot since then. But one of the things that I read, like I was doing, because this kit wasn't that good, like it didn't really tell you what to do. It didn't have any pictures. It was like, you do this and it sort of makes a thing. And I'm like, I have no idea. So I ended up YouTubing and Googling a lot of it. Yeah, do. I want to see it. But yeah, so I ended up Googling it, and one of the people, I don't know what the site was, but they were saying essentially like, for 90% of the time that you are needle felting, it will not look like the thing, and it'll just look like absolute like chaos, and then in the last like 10%, it will be what you want it to be. So like, I remember like making this guy, and there were just like a bunch of just like sausage noodles, and I was like, this looks like nothing. And then, lo and behold, a dog appeared. Like, that's just the crazy thing about needle felting. And I'm like, what do you mean I can just stab this a bunch of times and then I make this? Like, it still boggles my mind. Okay, so once we finish this, we are going to be wrapping up for the day because it's time to go make some dinner. Say hello to the hubby. But this has been, honestly, like my best stream, like my favoriteest stream of all time. what, we're like a month in. This is like, I don't know, like my 10th stream. I don't know how many. But this one's my favorite because I met all of you and it's just been so great. I'm going to go in and like lurky stalk all of you now. And if any of you all also stream, I'm going to be following all of your socials. And I'm so excited. All right, I think it's finished. Boom. There we go. So here's our two little mushroom boys. And then the goal will be to stick our pinbacks on them. Chuck them in here before. So we'll take these bad boys at some point and we will stick them on the back there. I need to get some red thread before I do all of that. So that's why this guy's not finished. He's still pin backless. But yeah, so this was super, super fun, guys. Thank you for just like making my whole day, week, evening. We smashed our goal. We're 100% there before the end of our midweek February goal. And that was incredible. So we are going to resume cross-stitching on Tuesday. Same time. It was a little bit later today, but usually it's 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. GMT, which is like British time. And yes, perfect. I will pass by on Saturday. What time are you going to be streaming? I will for sure check it out. I'm so excited. This is great. And then all of the socials and things are in my panels. I don't think I've updated. Actually, now that I think about it, I haven't updated my panel with my new Instagram handle, but it's all nostalgia_tash except for Twitter, which is nostalgia_tash without the underscore. And Shadow has an Instagram too. If you like cute dogs, you can follow my dog's Instagram if you want. And hopefully... Excellent. Okay, perfect. 9 my time. Okay, excellent. I will go and follow everybody. And yeah, so Tuesday we'll be cross-stitching on the socials too. I think I'll be posting a poll of like what I'm going to be cross-stitching because we've been working on the Cryptid Stitch Along by the Witchy Stitcher, and maybe we will keep doing that. Maybe we'll do something different. I have some kits that I also want to get started at some point. But we will see, and I hope to see you guys there. Again, thank you so much. Mwah! This was brilliant. And definitely, Nail Queen, I will see you on Saturday. Okay, bye everybody. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. I need to figure out where to end my stream. Okay, bye.